Hello to anyone that's watching, or may watch in the future. If you watch this now, then fantastic. If you watch it on YouTube channel, that's fantastic also. Look, I've done one live already, so I'm a little bit drained, but I'm gonna do a live now on depression. I was gonna just send this straight to YouTube, but I thought, you know what, I'll just broaden it's long. Really, it don't really matter. Let me just adjust this slightly. So yeah, depression, huh? Yeah, it's not gonna work. Never mind. Alright, depression, mental health. Now, it's labelled mental health, but I like to call it mental illness. Now, you could say that's a negative spin on things, but to be honest with you, it's what it's labelled is not really relevant. It's just labelled something, you put in a box, and you sit in this box that you've been put in, and it's a major killer is mental illness. The reason I say mental health is just purely because that it's a focus of positivity, but it's also a health check. But I like to call it illness because it's what it is. It's an illness, and I've had people in the past to me that have said, you don't look ill. Well, unless you can see what's going on inside here, then, or inside here, then you're not going to look ill. Depression, I've had depression now for, maybe 9-10 years or so. Didn't know I had it, because of where I was. I mean, I've done this video before on my other channel, but my channel got deleted, so I'm just going to do a fresh one. Didn't know I had it. I was part of a high pressured organisation. They did personal development, so reading books. Back then it was listening to tapes and CDs, and yeah, if you remember tapes, then you're knocking on a few years, I suppose. 8 tracks, no, I don't remember them. So yeah, they believed in positive mental attitude, and would read books, we'd do book reviews, we'd review CDs of motivational speakers, we'd review books of something that's motivational, the Magic of Thinking Big, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, basically just developing our own minds. So whenever somebody said to me about depression, I just saw it as a state of mind. And my belief was that, you can snap out of it. Depression, it's just a state of mind, Read a book, listen to a CD, and that's basically what we got told to do. When you're feeling down, you weren't allowed to show that you were feeling down. You were just down, but you couldn't show it. You still had to have a PMA, positive mental attitude. So, I've read books, I've listened to CDs, I've watched videos, I've watched films. There's some good motivational films out there that can help with the depressive state. Let me zoom into my big bald head. So yeah, I just thought it was a state of mind. I just thought you could snap out of it anytime you wanted, and that listening to some motivational music would help. And how wrong. I was always told that I was depressed. I suppose you become part of what you're around, if you start to believe it. But just with mood swings, with up days, down days, crying days, just not knowing what's going on kind of days. And I was told that I was depressed. I'm like, no. I'll just I'm not depressed. I'll just I'll just crack on and get on with the day, get on with my life, really. Until the day came, and I'll remember it like it was yesterday. I was having a shower. Scary thought, I know. I was having a shower. That's just get that image out of your mind. It's not pretty. And I broke down. I just totally broke down. Again, I was at a kind of a peak of my game as well. It's high pressured. Height of income, height of the karate standard, height of the business. Just I was doing really well, I was driving the car I was driving was a Range Rover. The car before that was a Lexus 250. Which was 3 months old. So I was 26, 27 years old ish. Maybe 30, maybe in my 30s or so. Really started there. But yeah, I was having the shower. Oh, there it is. And I just broke down crying. I curled up in a ball on the floor of the shower. Yes, we had a shower cubicle. Yours. And I curled up on the floor and the shower cubicle just broken. I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. I didn't know why. I'm just like, hang on a minute. I'm a tough karate instructor, and I'm running a business, and I'm high powered and high pressured, and I can deal with this, and I take hits and I give hits, and so why am I blubbering on the floor? Why am I so messed? So yeah, that's when it actually hit, and that's when I realized, that I needed to see somebody. So I booked in with, first of all booked in, I think it was, I went to see the NHS, and they did some CBT with me, which is cognitive behavioural therapy. I went for a couple of weeks, but it didn't suit me. It was like, this isn't great. I don't need this. This is no, not for me. You've got to find the right therapy that's right for you. Just like when you get onto medication, you've got to find the right medication that's right for you. But I'll get onto that in a second. So basically the CBT side of things was, that you spend 20 minutes driving to the place, and they'd give you a 10-minute chat, give you a piece of paper, and go say, right, write on this piece of paper. Whether it's changed or not, I don't know, but that was, and I just thought, this isn't how I imagine therapy. So I went to see a friend of mine, a guy called Derek Chapman. So this is a shout out to Derek Chapman. Great guy, makes hell of a lot of sense. If you find him on Facebook, if you've got some problems, then this guy can help, okay? Give him a call. So if you're ever doubting yourself, or you're ever, sort of thinking of some therapy, this is a brilliant start, okay? It helped me to a point. I think what it did was, is, I'm not saying it didn't help me. It was worth every penny, but and it was worth every second. But I think what it did was it actually helped me to help myself, in a way. And in order for me to help myself, I had to make some realizations in my life. So I went to see him for a couple of sessions, and it did help me. I was young, I had hair, I was slim, smiling a lot more. So yeah, it did help, but then I stopped. Now the thing with any kind of therapy is, it kind of needs to be an ongoing thing. Even billionaires, all these successful people, they have therapists. They have life coaches. Now it might be that you go once a week, but then that can ease off to once a fortnight. Then that can ease off to once a month. Then that can ease off to once every 3 months, and so on and so on and so on. Eventually it'll just be like once a year check-in. Okay? So that was basically Derek. He I don't know how booked up he is right now, but if you ever want to see something like that, then hypnotherapist, that sort of thing, that I recommend him. Okay? But he was right for me. He might not be right for somebody else, but it was right for me. Easygoing guy as well. Totally easygoing. Black and white, doesn't beat about the bush. Good at what he does. And then I went to see somebody else, I forget the lady's name, I'm really sorry. I went to do a transactional analysis therapy. Now I don't know what that is. Basically, it would be like therapy. I would sit in a room and talk. just get things off my chest. Just get things off my chest. That got to a point where it was £40 an hour every week, and I think I did that for about 18 months. Yeah. A lot of money, huh? I've wasted more than that, so. But I thought I need to do it to get me well. So I did that. Eventually cut down to half an hour because I couldn't afford it, and then it cut down to nothing because I could not afford it. Everything was declining. So talk about the decline of income now and the decline of everything now, but for me it was declining back then. It was declining 10 years ago, man. It was declining, way back then. I have overdosed, which is something that I didn't think I'd ever do. I didn't think I'd ever put myself in jeopardy to a point where I actually have overdosed a couple of times. Yeah, not nice. I don't know why I kept doing it. I think it's probably 4 or 5 times that I've plied myself with quite a lot of pills. And the hangover the next day and the day after is horrible. Okay? It's the worst. It is the worst. You're tired but you can't sleep. You're asleep but you fidgeting, so I don't recommend anybody self-harming yourselves whatsoever. I don't recommend that at all. In fact, the second you have an idea of any kind of self-harm, you need to pick up the phone and speak to somebody. And if that somebody is a friend, a neighbour, you might not know me right now, but if you need to contact me, then feel free to do so. Okay? You can, find me on Facebook, James Davey. Find me on YouTube, The Bearded Opinion. You can email me at jamesdavey01@yahoo.com if you want to, and we can have a chat. You don't have to give me your name, you don't have to give me anything, you don't have to say anything. And I'm open to listen, because the one thing that I didn't have back then was somebody close to me that I could actually speak to. Even though I was surrounded by hundreds of people on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and all this positive mental attitude screaming at me, I felt like I was just alone, I felt like I could be in a crowded room and I could still be alone. There's a lot of things that I'm amounting now when I've had time to reflect, which is what I do basically all the time. I reflect. I have realised that the mental issue that I have stems from many different ways. It stems from many different places. Some of those places was personal. Some of them was more personal. Some of them was business. Some of them was my attitude towards people. Some of them was their attitude towards me. I was in a business of trying to please everybody, and it just wore thin. I see it as you can help somebody, but you have to take that time to replenish. And I never really had that time to replenish. I was, it's like a balloon. If there's only so much air you can put into a balloon, but then you've got to let some air out, so that's your replenishing time. The air that you put into the balloon is you helping other people. And they're taking that air away from you, but it's going into this balloon that's going to pop. And there was never any time to literally. Or I see it as a jigsaw as well. Different analogies, but come to the same thing. Your whole sense, your whole being is a jigsaw. Now, you don't see pieces leaving, but you do give a piece of yourself to somebody. Right now, doing this video, doing any video that I do, I'm giving a piece of myself. I might give 50%. I might give 100%. I might give. It doesn't matter what percentage of it I'm giving. I'm giving myself. I'm giving myself away. I'm just giving a certain percentage away, and I'm helping, hopefully helping somebody, or enlightening somebody, or annoying somebody. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. But I'm giving something away. So anytime we do these kind of things, anytime you're interacting, whether it be via Facebook, YouTube, a conversation, down the pub, at work, you are giving a piece of yourself away. And I just gave so much of myself that I didn't have time to rebuild myself, to put those pieces of the puzzle back together again. Because you can remake them and you can build yourself back up to where you are, a decent kind of 80 to 90%. You might not be a full puzzle, but you're still a puzzle. Okay. You might never 100% recover, but there's still something there. And you've got to think, right, okay, for example, if my state was 100 pieces and I've given away 90 of those, I'm only 10 pieces now. I've got to find time to recover 90 pieces, but I might only find time to recover 1 or 2. But then I'm giving away another 10 pieces. So I'm like, okay, now I'm in a deficit. Now I'm in a black hole. My emotions are in the red. My emotions are, I owe myself. Because I was trained to, and it's a great saying. It's a great saying, but it can have a negative impact. Do things for others and expect nothing in return. I was just doing things for others and I didn't expect anything in return. I didn't get anything back. But like I said, I also felt alone. So you've got to take that time to replenish. When we talk about medication for depression, there's people out there right now that will tell you to not take medication. My advice is don't listen to those people. If you've been prescribed something, then you take it. Now, as with therapy, medication's the same. You have to find the medication that's right for you. So I think I went through 4 or 5 brands of medication. I've had fluoxetine, which is generally the one that people start on. Citalopram, these are in a particular order. Sertraline, and now I'm on paroxetine. Everything's a teen, apart from citalopram. So I take a pill every single day. Any day that I don't, I can feel a decline. And the reason I don't do it is because I forget. I just forget. So I sometimes just don't have a pill, and it's like, right, I'll have one tomorrow. I won't double up, but I'll have one tomorrow. Depression is and I can only really talk about depression and anxiety because they're the two that I actually suffer with. I can't really explain bipolar to you because I don't know what that is. So I can only tell you from my experience of mental health illness. I went and stood at the bridge a couple of times. The amount of people that go past you is unbelievable. The Humber Bridge is a major thing that needs to be changed. The access for people to go on there and relieve themselves up there is it's scary, I don't know why. I don't know why they don't put bigger barriers up, bigger, just even fencing, to stop people climbing over, stop people jumping off it, because that's a major, particularly in Hull. That's like, you're giving it to people, and the amount of people that have lost their lives, that have taken their own lives on that bridge, is I'd hate to think. But to do that, you've got to be in a pretty dark place. To even think you've got to be in a dark place, but to actually do it, I'm not going to say it takes guts, because I don't want to dare anybody. I don't want anybody to think that they're in a place where they need to take their own life. Because I've been there. I sometimes, look, every single day I have these thoughts. The one thing that does help, that majorly helps these days, and I am a lot better these days, but that's only because of my Mindy. The one thing that I'll come back onto that. The one thing that depressives don't want to hear is, and you will say it to them without knowing, you'll just say it. Suck it up, buttercup. What's wrong with your face? Today's another day. Cheer up, it'll never happen. You got out the wrong side. We don't want to hear that sort of stuff, If you go to somebody and you say, if I come to you and I say, look, I'm not in a great place right now. My head's a little bit messed up. I'm depressed today. I'm having a bad day. Don't say, well, today's another day, tomorrow's another day, and suck it up. It'll never happen. Yeah, thanks for that. Sometimes talking works. I'm not great at that. I'm learning. The best thing for me is having somebody there, not necessarily to discuss, but to support. Like I say, Mind is she's my lifeline right now. She's my, she's my rock. Unbelievable amount of support from her. I actually don't think, some of the days that I've had, I actually don't think I would have got through it if it wasn't for her. So for that, I 100% thank and appreciate you. She's amazing. Everyone needs one in their life, but I've got the only one. So so yeah, depression is an imbalance of the things in the brain, the wires in the brain. And what the tablets do is they help to level out. So you're not constantly here and you're not constantly here. You're kind of in the middle a little bit. It's never this and it's never this on the uppy down scale. It's just this all the time. I am on sick for it. I am unfit to do anything work-wise. I'm unfit anyway. To top it off, I've got COPD and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we're on about mental health. Probably the biggest thing is find somebody. Find somebody. Don't be scared to say to somebody, I'm having a bad day. Because that's okay. Doesn't matter how big or how bruisey you are or how macho you may think. And this is why it's a big killer within men. Because men have been conditioned to be the strong ones. Men have been conditioned to, since the dawn of time, woman cook food, man go find food. We've been conditioned. But until we break that conditioning, And it can start from by being a parent as well. One thing I try and teach my son is, if you've got anything to say, if there's anything bothering you, you need to speak up. You need to tell me so that I can help you or find somebody to help you. See, I was never told that. I never had that. I grew up, in it was macho environment. So I never had that. I never had somebody to say, look, I'll if you want help, I can help you. So the first thing is, don't ever be afraid to ask for help. And that could be help from a friend, family, it doesn't matter who. Could be help from a GP. Could be help from anybody. If you go to your doctors, and this is how I got started taking tablets. If you go to the quacks, the doctor, and break down in that doctor's office, there's something there. Something definitely there. And they'll prescribe you something. But make sure you take the allotted dose. And once you started taking them, it takes about 72 hours to actually get into your system. Do antidepressants. We should call them emotional balancers and not antidepressants. So that's what they are. They balance you out emotionally and mentally to a point. So once you started taking them, like I said, 72 hours it generally takes to get into your system. Do not go cold turkey on them. Don't just stop. If you're unsure of something, speak to your doctor. Speak to the person who gave you them in the first place. Don't just stop. No matter what anybody says out there, they are there to help. So don't just stop. And like I said, the biggest thing, there's plenty of places out there. Other than the NHS, you've got Mind. You can Google all this stuff. You've got Andy's Man Club. That's started off as one club and now it's all over the place. And I'm not just talking to men, I'm talking to women as well. Because women have got major pressures. We've all got major pressures. Doing another day, and to me, getting through another day is a major pressure. You've got you've got the Samaritans, you've got the NHS, you've got therapists out there. I've actually seen more therapists come up and, more advertising for therapy in the last few years. So that tells you something. This isn't a supply and demand. The demand was there. We need the supply, man. We need the people are hurting. I've even offered my own services to out there. I'm not trained. I'm not trained in anything, but what I have to offer is experience, a lot of life skills. Even though I'm only 21, even though I'm only 43, I honestly see myself that I have lived a lifetime of twice my age. All right, I do think I've been around the block quite a few times, and I've seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of things. I've taught myself a lot of things. I've been taught a lot of things, and I've also disregarded a lot of things. So find somebody, find a channel, and I don't mean ITV or YouTube or whatever. I mean find somebody that you can speak to, and like I said before, if that somebody is me, a total stranger, then whatever you say to me is held in confidence. The only time that it wouldn't be held in confidence is if you were in a conversation with me and you were making noise of saying that you are going to harm yourself. That's when it would need to be reported, because that's where the duty of care would come in. So if you want to talk to a total stranger, then I am more than happy to listen. I'm more than happy to text. I'm more than happy to to message back, to email back, whatever. Again, I can only give you advice based on experience. I can't give you advice based on qualifications because I have none. I have 0 qualifications. The only job I could potentially do would be some kind of labouring, and I have to take a break 3 times when I'm walking up the stairs. Yeah, my body's too short. That's depressing. That's heartbreaking, because I think to myself, what was I then? What was I 10 years ago to what I am now? It's like, have I let myself go, or have I, or has time caught up with me? And I just think time's caught up with me. Really, I think, time is the grey's been showing for a while. But the main thing is support. Support from whoever. Doesn't matter. You've also got to take time out for yourself. Now, even if that's, and I'm not telling you to wait till bedtime for your 8 hours of sleep. Within the time that you are awake, within the time that you have active, you have to take time for yourself. That could be a power nap through the day. That could just be, playing a game on your phone. That could be sitting in silence, watching a bit of TV, focusing something away from what's going on inside your head, taking your mind away from all that. Replenish yourself. You must replenish yourself. Because even if you're not giving yourself to somebody, even if you're not giving those pieces away, you kind of are. You're giving those pieces away to yourself. Just by getting up and breathing, just by doing chores around the house, you are giving yourself away. So you have to take that time to say, stop, I need to replenish that. It could be a simple thing of, if I iron for, it's a struggle. If I iron for an hour, I'm gonna give half an hour back to myself. If if I've put the washing on, I'm gonna give 5 minutes to myself. You'll be amazed at how much you owe yourself. You'll be blown away by how much other people owe you as well. And I don't mean possessions. Because I'll be honest with you, I've had a lot of possessions. I was 27, 20 years old earning 90 grand a year. That was a major depression. I am more content now having nothing, and I'm being 100% honest when I say that. I have got nothing. I'm poor. I live in tracky bottoms and t-shirts. Don't have anything designer. Don't go on holiday. But I'm more at peace now, having nothing, but realising what I have got. I've got an amazing woman. And when I say amazing, I can't thank her enough for how she supports, for what she does. She helps me out immensely. I have the best son on the planet. He is amazing. I'm not going to mention his name. I don't really like him being on Facebook. I don't like his face on there. I don't like him. I don't like his name being mentioned on Facebook. But yeah, my son is freaking amazing. I got a Dougie. I got a Dougie dog. You know, I've gone through a lot. I've gone through a lot in the years, and I'm realizing a hell of a lot. You don't need to be financially rich or possessional rich to be wealthy. Because the most important thing, and I've realized this, the most important thing in life isn't money. It's not cars. It's not holidays. It's not things that you want to go out there and buy. It's not dinners. It's time. It's loved ones. And I keep my loved ones quite close, to the point of where there's only a couple of them. I like to think of it as a triangle. You know, there are people out there that I do care about, but not that are close to me to support. My mum's a massive help. So yeah, so if you're ever in doubt, and what strange that it's blokes that are watching this right now. If you are ever in doubt, then you know, please reach out. Now, whether that be to me, to somebody, you know, there's a link to a mental health group that Mindy set up. So if you ever want to reach out to that, I'll put the link in here, because it's going to go on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description to YouTube. Join the group. It literally is mental health. It's just all about helping other people, and I've not posted on there for a while neither as Mindy, but yeah, it's just you need a network of friends, and you realise, and this is where depression is a bit of a kicker. You realise who your friends are, you know. I thought I had loads of friends. Yes, sensei. No, sensei. 3 bags full, sensei. We love you, sensei. In my previous job, I would teach 80 to 90 instructors. This is instructors alone, on a weekly basis. I would run 89 classes per week, and I would have a student base of 12 to 1300 students on a weekly basis. I'd maybe grade 150 people in one weekend, and all these people would be like, yes. And the thing is they wanted me for what I was, not for who I was. They wanted to be around me for what I was, because when I left, the amount of friends that you thought you had, and this is what I reflect on, this doesn't help with depression, the amount of friends that I thought I had really weren't friends. So I keep my circle, my triangle. There's my son down one side, Mindy down the other, me on the bottom, however you want to look at it. Strongest shape there is. You know, and there's people that are sort of outside that triangle, you know, inside it slightly, you know, half in, half out, that sort of thing. But the main triangle for me, the main focus for me is those two people. You know, I love my mum with all my heart, and she's a major support. But when it comes to depression and anxiety, you see, anxiety is a different matter altogether. So this video I'm going to stick with depression. I might do another one on anxiety, but I'm going to need a break. I might do that another day. So yeah, support. If you're on medication, keep taking your medication. if you've got to find the right support, the right therapy, you've got to find the right medication, and only a doctor will do that for you. The therapist, you have to be able to get along with that therapist. You know, you may be recommended somebody, but if you and that therapist don't sort of vibe, find somebody else. Okay, that's why they all give an initial hour or half an hour introduction, because if you don't vibe with that person, they're not going to be able to help you. You're just going to be throwing money after bad. So yeah, that's basically all I can offer you today is on depression, and that, you know, it's not a nice thing. It's not a nice thing to have, because you know that there's something wrong with you, and one of the things that really sort of hurts is not knowing why. You know, you're in this dark place and you don't know why. It's the fear of the unknown, which can also then lead to anxiety. But you have to rationalise, and this is where Mindy is freaking ace. She's so rational. She's like my voice of reason. Because if I lose it, I lose it. Whether it be anger, whether it be being upset, whether it's sadness, whatever, I lose it. But she's my voice of reason. So get yourself a voice of reason. All right, even if they just talk, you don't have to say anything. Sometimes it's okay to be on your own. I don't mind. I'm quite comfortable on my own. All right, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I don't really socialise with people, so I'm quite content just being me. But yeah, and it hurts. It hurts not knowing. But you've got to then realise, when I talk about rationale, you've then got to realise that it's okay to not know. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know why. You'll drive yourself crazy for trying to figure out why. Sometimes it's okay to just not know. Sometimes it's okay to just be. Sometimes it's okay to not be okay. And it really is okay to not be okay. So if somebody says to you, "How are you?" Not great. You don't know, the staple answer for people is, "Oh yeah, I'm okay." But you're not. But it's almost like you're trying to sell it to yourself. I'm okay, when really you're not. Really, you died inside. And yes, you may look healthy. Yes, you may look like you could do 10 rounds in Mike Tyson. But inside, scared, fear, sadness, all those negative emotions are just bubbling. So don't pretend you're okay when you're not. Because that's okay. It's perfectly fine to not be fine. And it is totally okay to not know. And do you know what, gents? All you butch men out there listening, it is perfectly fine to cry. The men that don't cry, I don't think are real men. It's perfectly fine to break down a little bit. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to break down completely. Just don't do that on your own. Do that. Have somebody that's there to lift you back up again. Have somebody that's there to support you. But no matter what you're going through, no matter what we go through on a daily basis as humans, the one thing that we must realise Alright, Jace, how you doing, brother? Sorry, I don't call everyone my brothers and sisters. I'm not one of the conspiracy nuts. Yeah, you do, man. You've got to let it out sometimes. You know? I forgot what I was saying now. Crap. Oh, yeah. That's what I was saying. No matter what you're going through on a daily basis, realize that you are not alone. And that you can. I'm offering you now. It is a beautiful day. As U2 said. Not U2, but the band U2. You're not on your own. I'm offering now that if anybody needs a chat, needs a coffee, needs a helping hand, I can't give you money. I can't give you riches and diamonds and cars and houses and holidays and things. I can't give you possessions. But what I can offer is time. I can offer this ear or this ear. I can offer a hug. So you're not on your own. You're never on your own. You may think you are, but you're not. It's okay to not be okay. But it's also okay to be alone as well. You're not a leper. For me, the best thing for me, this is what I was going to say, I went off track earlier. For me, the best thing is just to stay quiet. Because whenever I'm in that state anyway, whenever I'm in that depressive state, I can't get my words out. I've got, starting now, I do have a slight stutter anyway. So sometimes I can't get my words out. Sometimes my mind's working, but it won't come out of my mouth. It wants to come out, but sometimes it just doesn't. So I kind of just, there it is. So for me, it's just to be knowing someone's there, and I know she always will be. She's my rock. Knowing someone's there, and they don't need to necessarily interact with you. For me, it's just a case of, okay, I just need to regain my thoughts. I need to replenish myself. Somebody somewhere has taken something. Somebody somewhere has taken something, not giving it back. I've given somebody something, not giving it back. Nobody pays it forwards anymore. Nobody pays it forwards, full stop. You know, so for me, silence is probably the best thing for me. But that works for me. You know, I originally started these videos back in 2017. And I think some of the first ones were on depression, anxiety. Because doing this helps me. So I do live videos, I do videos on YouTube, and I do those not for other people per se, but to help me talk about it. I've just said that being silent is the best thing for me, but here I am talking. Now, my only goal with any of my videos is to just affect one person. And if I can affect that one person and have that one person say, do you know what, you're right, I agree with you. Or I disagree with you, but here's why I disagree. Then that person's affected. And that's my only goal, is to just affect one person through a video. Can have thousands of videos out there. Those 1,000 videos affect one person. Job done. That's one more person's life that might not be in jeopardy. That's one more person that doesn't feel alone. I'm not liked a lot by a lot of people. That's their prerogative, not mine. When it comes to depression, mental illness isn't something you can play around with. It's unpredictable. So do yourself a favour. Either get yourself to see a GP or go just see somebody. Bless you, Jamie. That's a bonus, I suppose. So yeah, you know, get yourself out there to see somebody. And even if it's like I say, I've given you contact details at the beginning of this video for me. So if you want to reach out, and again, you don't even have to give me your name. Make a false name up, I don't care. If I can help, I'll help. But then you've got to give me time to replenish myself. Which is pretty much... No, I'm not going to do that now. I'm not going to replenish myself now. Still late. I might have an early night. So I might go to bed an hour or two early. That I normally do. That's my replenishment. I might just sit in silence now. That's my replenishment. But you're not alone. And if ever you have a thought of anything that's going to cause you or someone else harm, stop. Just stop. Because the one thing that you can never take back is your actions. You can't ever take those back because they've happened. Words are actions. You can't really take words back. You can apologise for them in the hope that it'll never happen again. But you can't take back your actions. Once you've done it, that's it. There's no turning back. But the one thing you can control and the one thing you can stop is what's in here. Whatever the thought is, people say stand by your decisions. Well, decisions are just thoughts. It's when they become actions that there's some accountability there. That you will be held accountable for that. That you will upset somebody. And one of the main things that, you know, not only me, but one of the main things that I don't want my son knocking on my coffin saying, why didn't my dad love me? Why did my dad have to go? That upsets me to think that, you know, I could potentially cause that. Which then has that knock-on effect. How will the chain ever be broken if I'm not the one to break it? I have to be the one because my father never did that with me. My father was forgive the term, he was a bastard. Still is. So I never had that openness. But I have to break that chain for my son. So that if ever he feels that he can't talk to somebody, he can talk to me. Or he can talk to Mind. Or he can share his feelings, or he can break down, or he can have a cry, or he can have a cuddle. You know? The kid's never too old for a cuddle. I love him with all my heart. God help anyone that tries to, you know, hurt him. But, you know, I've got to break that chain. And I am doing. Every time he's with me. Always asking if he's okay. If he's not, tell me about it. Talk to me. If you can't talk to me, talk to Mind. If you can't talk to us two, go talk to your mum. Talk to somebody. If there's anything bothering you, let me know. This goes for us as well. This goes for anybody watching this video. If there's anything bothering you, speak it. Let it out. You can think all you want. You can think all the deadliest things that you want in here. But it's when they become actions. That's when it's too late. Just don't make it be too late. Because the people that you can hurt is not only yourself. You'd be done. That's it, you'd be done. But the knock-on effect will be exponential. The knock-on effect that it would have with people is the people that care about you. They've got to live with that then. So yes, think what you want. You don't have to turn it into actions. So if any time you have this thought, whatever it might be, if it's going to harm you or someone else, stop. Take 10 seconds to rationalize that. And when you rationalize it, think of the knock-on effect. Because that's where the ripple starts. You cause a ripple. That's it. I am mentally spent now. If you've got something from this video, fantastic. If you haven't, fantastic. Just means I need to try again. Leave your comment, leave your likes, leave your dislikes. You're not alone. You are being watched. Oh. When this becomes an action, think about it. See you all